What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Split Decisions. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Justin.
And we're about to break down this UFC Fight Night Apex card, Lemos versus Jandiroba. Of course, they're going to give us one of these cards. You know, we got some pay-per-views coming up.
Back to back. Little shitty fight night cards.
Last night, though.
Yeah.
Decent card, I would say.
Decent card, brutal on the picks. Brutal
on the picks for sure. Definitely not a good betting card.
Nah, but there was a lot of stuff that, honestly, Fight IQ, a lot of people forgot that at home before they came to the octagon, and just that altitude really played a factor. And a lot of people whose chins don't get cracked, they got cracked Saturday. So.
Drew Dober. John Silva.
A absolute dogfight. That was a war. And Drew Dober, with his eyebrow hanging off, was still trying to get in there and swing and bang.
He's a dog. What can you say?
Jeon Silva, that chin, bro. Like, that chin, he was literally eating shots from Drew Dober.
Just the counter striking, man. The takedown defense.
2 weeks notice, too. I mean, he literally just fought 2 weeks ago, said, fuck it, give me a dog at 155. Let me
just seems comfortable in there, just natural.
And MMA nerds, or fighting nerds, whatever, bro, that gym is looking better and better with every prospect that comes out. I mean, they're holding their own for sure.
Charles Johnson, round 3 KO.
Wow, didn't see that one coming at all. Charles Johnson don't finish nobody.
Them scorecards going in that third round were crazy too.
Wild, all over the place.
Yeah, two judges, 2018 Van, 2 judges, 2018 Johnson, and then the other one, 1-1 going in the third. That's some crazy scoring, but
and then,
definitely. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and Rose came out there, really was putting on Tracy Cortez, knocked her fucking eyelash right off her face when she knocked her down in the first, sent that bitch flying.
Come on. This is a fight, not a beauty contest.
But Tracy Cortez, at the same time, her trying to pull that Max Holloway in the 5th, like, come here. Come on.
Like, come on. She done lost 4 rounds.
You're getting your ass beat.
Into Max.
Yeah, don't do that. You're mad because Rose moves too good for you to hit, so you're trying to just get pissed that she won't stand flat-footed in front of you. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I thought Rose looked good. Talking about a second or another run for the title will actually be her third
looking good
time getting the title.
No, I didn't know, but I guess for Macy Barber, if Macy Barber would have won that, like if that fight would have went through, Macy Barber was told she would have got a title shot. So what's that mean for Rose? You know,
facts. But we are gonna get into this UFC Fight Night, Jandiroba, Lemos versus Jandiroba at the Apex. Break down that first fight for him, Justin.
All right, so to start this weak-ass card off, we have Mohammed Usman versus Thomas Peterson. Mohammed Usman is 10-3. He's 3-1 in the UFC. As most of you may or may not know, that's Kamaru Usman's little brother, but he's a heavyweight, big as hell. He used to play football, so he's a big athletic dude, big strong dude, but he's kind of small for heavyweight. He weighed in his last fight at 237, so he's not a big, 250, 260-pound bruiser, but he's a pretty jacked dude. He's 6'2" and has a 79-inch reach, so he's not small. On the other side, you got Thomas Peterson, 8-2. He's 0-1 in the UFC. He made his debut against Jamal Pogues, who's a very sloppy, low output heavyweight that kind of, I don't know how he's in the UFC, but lost to that guy, so really shows what his potential is in the UFC. He's the type that he's low output. He likes to fight in the clinch. He likes to get trips, try to get his opponent to the ground, tries to control him. As far as this matchup goes, it's very low level in my opinion. I think we're going to see a low output fight. Both of these guys kind of fight the same way. Low output, want to get a hold of you, want to take you to the ground, want to kind of just lay on top of you and like dominate you, put that weight on you. Usman just has more. We've seen him knock out that Zach dude for the Ultimate Fighter finale, knocked him out. Zach Palga knocked him out. So we've seen Usman have that KO power. We've seen Usman, even though he doesn't look like it, have the ability to go 15 minutes. We've seen him be able to wrestle. So give me Mohammed Usman as my pick. More than likely, it's going to be a decision. Definitely going to be a low-level fight. So what do you think?
Facts. Yeah, I'm definitely on the same side. I think this is going to be the only card in the last 5 cards now. We didn't start it out with a split decision.
Yeah, that's
so
insane.
We're breaking that. But
breaking it.
Yeah, Mohammed Usman, -150 favorite, 2-1 in the UFC, Ultimate Fighter winner. Yep. He beat Zach Palga was the tournament championship.
It was the finale.
In that fight, knocked him out with a left hook.
He was getting pieced up the whole first, and then randomly 10 seconds into the second, check left.
Facts. So that power is definitely dangerous. He actually has a wrestling base though, like you said. But likes to throw the hands.
He does.
Power in the hands.
He's got a chin too.
Got a good jab.
Yep.
His nickname is the Motor
because he just keeps going.
He got a good gas tank. I feel like he's fought better competition than Thomas Peterson.
For sure.
So definitely experience edge. He's got his brother in the corner.
Good
former champion.
Yeah.
So he does hold a 5-inch reach advantage, and I feel like he's got the striking advantage anyways. He is low output, but definitely more power in his hands, and I feel like he's more willing to let him go.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas Peterson obviously just wants to get it to the ground, but against Usman, I feel like super physical and just even if he does get taken down, can get back up.
Oh, yeah, he gets up.
And he will fight to get back up. Like you said, Thomas Peterson debuted against Jamal Pogues, didn't look the best in that fight, kind of got exposed, honestly, against Pogues. And like you said, I don't really see Pogues as like a super high competition guy.
No.
So, yeah, give me Mohammed Usman. I think he could find a finish, but like you said, probably just a low pace, sloppy heavyweight fight.
It's going to be one of those ones that puts you to sleep for sure, probably.
Facts. Give me Usman by decision.
Usman by decision. And before we go into the next fight, I brought up a good idea. How we started out so many cards going split decisions on our picks. From probably not this episode, but by the next one, we're going to start keeping track of all the picks we go split decisions on, and see how we do. Try to keep track of that. Yes, so the next fight on the card is going to be Luana Carolina.
I got this. Luana Carolina versus Lucie Pudilova. Luana Carolina plus 100 dog, which surprised me when I broke down this fight. I feel like she's the way better fighter. She is coming off a win over Julia Stoliarenko, who's a good black belt, and BJJ, super dominant, kind of physical girl with the submissions. Actually took her down a couple times, but was taken down by her as well, but works back up to her feet. I feel like she does have decent volume in her striking. Not super powerful, but she fights.
She puts it on you.
Yeah, she'll walk for you, and she'll take a hit, and
she'll
smile at you and walk forward.
She's in your face.
She's a fighter. Yeah. Lucie Pudilova, 3-7 in the UFC. Not super successful in her UFC career. She was actually signed in 2017 and cut in 2020, and then just re-signed a couple years ago. And I think this is her last fight in her contract. So
she's probably gonna be out the door.
I believe it's a win or go home for her. Either way, she might even win and still get sent home.
Right. Depending on how that win looks.
Just don't think she's great anywhere. I mean, she gets out wrestled by the wrestlers. She gets outstruck by the strikers.
Yeah.
So, just can't really hold her own anywhere. I feel like Luana's going to be the better striker. I feel like she can work her way back up if Lucie does try to implement some grappling. And ultimately, I'm going to just go Luana Carolina by decision.
Yeah, so I agree with everything Pat said. One thing I did notice, though, while you were talking, is that I noticed they were both ranked number 27 worldwide, but Luana Carolina is ranked at flyweight.
Yeah, she's coming up from 125 in this fight.
Yeah. So that honestly might be even better for Luana Carolina.
Because she's not cutting as much weight. She actually missed weight against Julia Stoliarenko by 3 pounds.
Right.
Weighed in at 128.
That weight cut was obviously getting to her. But I'm pretty much right there with Pat, too. Luana is going to be my pick. Buggling. I almost freaked out. I almost screamed a little bit. Luana is going to be my pick. I think that she's just a better all-around fighter. Like Pat said, she's going to constantly be in your face the whole time. From bell to bell, even if you're beating her ass, she's still going to be there. She's still going to be trying to either put that volume on you or trying to break you with just her relentless pressure. I mean, even when when she fought Molly McCann was up 2-0 going into that third, and Luana was still in her face trying to put it on her before she got caught with that brutal-ass spinning elbow. But this fight is low level, though, in my opinion. We're more than likely going to see these two trade jabs. There might be some clinch work. Lucie might be trying to take it to the ground just desperately, but I don't see her being able. Luana's pretty good at stuffing takedowns, and she's pretty good at putting that pressure and that volume on girls. So give me Luana Carolina just off her finishing ability and how much more active she's been then Lucie, and that's it. I don't really have much else to add to it.
Cool.
So the next fight is Loik Radzhabov versus Trey Ogden. Loik Radzhabov is 18-5-1, 2-1 in the UFC. His 3 fights in the UFC had been against pretty tough competition, and his only loss was to Matus Rebecki, who's proven that he's just, a tough as fuck fight for anybody. He's got power in his hands. He's pretty good in his grappling. His wrestling coach is actually Greg Jones, who used to wrestle for WVU. Was like a well-known wrestler in that in the wrestling world. So shout out to him. He's going up against Trey Ogden, who's 17-6, 2-2 in the UFC. He's a durable, tried and tested fighter. He's not great in any one area, so he's not like a big name in the UFC. But 11 of his wins come by submission, and the other 6 are by decision. So he has a clear path to victory in this fight, in my opinion. He's going to get outstruck if he tries to keep it on the feet with Loik Radzhabov. Radzhabov is exciting. It's picky for me to pick, or it's tricky for me to pick, because I know if Loik gets taken down, Trey's probably going to be able to have his way with him, because Trey's the type that if he gets you down, he can hold you down. He can keep you down. He can implement his his weight and his game and look for those submissions. But if it stays on the feet, Loik could piece him up, because Trey's really not that great on the feet. He can hold his own, but he's not really going to impress you on the feet.
I disagree. I think Trey Ogden's a decent striker.
See, it's a split decision there, because I just really don't think he's like the type. He hasn't impressed me.
He looked good against Daniel Zellhuber in the striking.
Yeah, it's Daniel Zellhuber though. But my pick is going to be Loik Radzhabov. But I'm not super confident. If I have to be, I'm like 51-49 type, because I really feel like it could go either way.
So you think it should be a pick'em?
I think it should 100% be a pick'em for sure.
And Loik sitting at -150.
Yeah. So, but yeah, my pick's gonna be Loik. I don't even know. Probably by decision, maybe a finish. What do you think?
Loik's definitely a good fighter. Definitely gonna be a close fight either way it goes.
Right.
Trey Ogden, coach at Marathon MMA, is a grappler, but I think he does have some hands. I mean, like I said, he looked good against Zellhuber, who's a way longer striker.
Right.
Has more length than Loik. I feel like Trey probably has the reach advantage in this fight.
72. No, yeah, Trey's 72 to Loik 69.
So a 3-inch reach advantage for Trey. I think he could win this fight on the feet and point out a decision. Loik, 11 takedowns against Esteban Ribovics in debut. Yeah. So definitely good at wrestling. But if you're taking a guy down 11 times,
they're getting up.
They're getting 12. Up in between. Right. So is he going to be
10.
able to take Trey Ogden down and control him?
See,
Trey Ogden's going to fight. Trey Ogden's going to fight. Yeah. He's coming off that robbery in the Moda fight, was dominating Moda in that fight, and that late decision had him choked out. And the early stoppage from the ref made it a no contest.
Yeah.
Beat him up for 3 rounds. Should have technically probably got the technical decision there. So he's coming back from that. Probably wants to get his lick back. Wants to make some money. Tough competition at 155. Either way, I feel like he's had some decent scraps with some decent fighters. Loik is probably going to be more powerful. But I feel like he takes 3 to give 1 sometimes.
Yeah.
So I could see Trey just sitting on the outside, pointing him up on the feet, or I could see Trey Ogden getting the better in the grappling situations, potentially get some control himself. So we're gonna go out. We're gonna make this first split decision of the card, and I'm gonna go Trey Ogden at dog money.
Yeah,
and I will say by decision, because Loik is tough.
Plus 125, so you are getting that. When I said Loik is a better striker, I just meant power-wise, in my opinion.
Definitely more power.
I think he has way more power, and I think the way he sets his up, he cycles between a takedown attempt or a strike very well, to where you think a big overhand's coming, but really, it's a double leg.
He does mix it up well, for sure. So I think it's going to be a close fight.
It is.
I think this line probably closes pick'ems.
Right.
It's going to be I feel like people might like that Trey Ogden dog money, but I might be wrong. Next fight, we got Miranda Maverick sitting at -205 against Dione.
It's Dione.
Barbosa. Dione Barbosa 1-0 in the UFC. coming off a first round contender series sub. Beat Ernesta Kruschewsky in her debut. Controlled her, just got it going with the grappling, but Kruschewsky actually was putting it on her late in that fight. She has a win over Corinne Silva in 2019 in I guess Brazilian regional scene.
Yeah.
And Corinne Silva
she's a dog.
She's been making her way in the UFC lately. I see her as a prospect. Miranda Maverick, definitely physical, good wrestling, and top control, decent striking.
Big bitch. Another big bitch.
Decent striking.
Oh yeah, it's not bad. Decent's giving her a little bit of credit.
She's not the best striker, but she mixes in takedowns well. She makes you really worry about that, and then she'll throw some strikes in between. She has been losing to higher level women like Jasmine Vicious,
right?
Which
just saw her.
I feel like that was just a bad matchup physically,
experience level wise.
Experience as well. Blanchfield, Macy Barber. These are all top of the division girls.
The Macy Barber one was a robbery too.
That was very close.
Miranda won that fight.
Very close decision. She wins with takedowns. Majority of her wins, she's getting takedowns in them fights, and she's controlling. So I'm definitely gonna go Miranda Maverick. I've been high on Miranda Maverick, but Dione is dangerous. She got a sub bag,
and it's slick.
So if Miranda wanna, shoot a sloppy takedown, or maybe gets tired, or just makes a mistake, then Dione can capitalize on it. So my pick's gonna be Miranda. I do think she just potentially wins the striking exchanges if she doesn't want to go there with her. Maybe she's frightened by the subs. But I can see her winning by top control, just being more physical, or winning on the feet. But ultimately, I'm going to go Miranda Maverick by decision.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. Pat pretty much covered it all. Miranda Maverick, 6-3 in the UFC. But those 3 losses were to pretty much the top of the top in, that division. Like we said, that Macy Barber fight, I thought it was a robbery. I know a lot of people, I remember seeing it on Twitter. A lot of people were pissed when that happened. She is a big, just dominant force in that division. She's the type that she wants to come out. Her striking is good enough to make you have to think about it, but it's not good enough to where you're going to be like overwhelmed by it, or
she's not going to sit there and outstrike a better striker.
Right. She's going to be striking good enough to have you worried about, like, damn, she could touch me. She could rack up this the damage or the points, but she could also, what she wants to do is either get you against that fence, trip you and get you down, or find her way on that single leg, take you down. She wants to get you on the ground and just dominate.
And she got a sub back too.
She does. She
could potentially get a sub herself.
What I will give her is the more fights she has in the UFC and the more experience she gains, she is getting a little smarter by each fight. Like, I noticed her last fight, even going into that 3rd round, she was up 2-0, and she was still like smart about what she was doing. She wasn't like raining down, ground and pound and giving herself up for like a triangle or
position over submission.
Yeah, exactly.
Position over finish.
She's very, very smart with the way she plays it. So all that being said, give me Miranda Maverick also. I think it's by decision or probably a TKO. I could see like a ground and pound situation where Dione is trying to go for like a leg lock or, an arm bar or something, and Miranda just gets that top control and just starts raining down on her, and the ref has to, hop in. So Miranda Maverick. The next fight on this card, we have Brian Kelleher and Cody Gibson. Brian Kelleher is 24-15. 8-8 in the UFC. I don't have much to say about Brian because he's literally a NPC in the UFC. He's almost 40, low output, very vanilla. The UFC keeps him around pretty much to figure out who the bums are, the prospects, or if somebody's finished or not. Like Cody Garbrandt, his last fight, they were pretty much trying to give Cody a layup just to be like, please, Cody, get you a win. So really not too impressed by this guy. His last 3 losses were to tough guys, though. Mario Batista, Umar Nurmagomedov, watch Cody Garbrandt. Cody Gibson, really not much better. He's 19-10, 1-5 in the UFC overall, but 0-2 since he came back from, being on the Ultimate Fighter in 2023. He has a little bit of power in his hands, and also has the ability to snatch a sub. But he's not going to impress you anywhere in his fights. He's not going to be somebody that you watch him and you're like, yeah, I need to catch another Cody Gibson fight. It's just somebody that kind of does what he needs to do to win a fight. So picking a winner of this fight, it's kind of like picking a booger. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got your booger, but what are you going to do with it now? You're going to wipe it on your pants? Like, you can't do nothing with it. It's a booger, So, like, picking the winner of this fight, what are you going to do? You going to go to work the next day and be like, hey, I told you about Cody Gibson? Hell no. So, like, give me Cody Gibson just off his ability to finish to finish the fight. But hell no.
How you gonna call this man a booger then pick him?
Hey, I'm just saying, bro. Like, I'm not picking Brian Kelleher. Cody Garbrandt just knocked this man out. I can't do that. So give me the booger in Cody Gibson. But this fight is just
what's the line on this fight?
Cody Gibson is a minus 230 favorite. Brian Kelleher plus 190.
Okay.
They're both 37 years old to Brian to 36 in Cody Gibson. So, but Cody does have a 7-inch reach advantage on Brian Kelleher.
So you going Cody Gibson in this fight?
I'm going Cody Gibson off the size. I'm going Cody Gibson off the reach and the fact that Brian Kelleher is a bum with that haircut. So
there you go.
What do you think?
Damn, I still can't believe you call my boy Cody Gibson a booger, bro. That's insane. All right. He is 1-5 in UFC. So
right.
I mean, booger, I feel like might be a decent term to use. I mean, I guess 1-5.
Better than a piece of shit.
That stands for a booger.
Yeah.
But he started off early in the UFC.
Right.
What,
like
2015? 2015. Yeah, he came back on the Ultimate Fighter as a vet, as an old UFC fighter who they're trying to give another chance to. Had fight of the night against Brad Katana.
2014. 222.
This is someone was in the UFC 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So but that shows
he's experienced.
His effort too.
Yeah.
And just wanting
he
it.
Fought to get back in.
But just comes up short sometimes. Brian Kelleher, he's 8-8 in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
500.
That another 50% number. Does have probably the experience edge, but like you said, he's getting finished by him.
Right. The people he's beaten too in the UFC, it's not even like Kevin Krum, Domingo Pilarti. Like these guys aren't even in. Ray Rodriguez, Hunter
just something to note. Cody Gibson, he only loses by decisions,
right,
and by guillotines.
Yeah,
specifically.
Right, that guillotine gets him.
And Brian Kelleher has 3 guillotines in the UFC. Cody Gibson, wrestling style. He's probably gonna get some wrestling going. He pumps that jab a little bit. I don't think he's super. I think he's kind of subpar striking.
Yeah,
not the best striker. He is durable though.
Very
can go the distance. Decent volume. Minus 230. I don't think I'm gonna lay on Cody Gibson.
I ain't betting that. He's not gonna be a parlay piece.
He does have power in his hands.
Right.
He can. I mean, he could touch Cody Gibson on the feet. I feel like. Definitely not gonna play Cody Gibson, but he probably does win this fight. Like you said, Brian Kelleher's not just not the best. He's he's old. He's on his way out. And yeah, Cody Gibson probably
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Cody Gibson probably gets the wrestling going, and or just some cage pushing, pitter patter on the feet, maybe just stay safe, makes it a control game. But I'm not betting no negative 230 on Cody Gibson, and I expect that line probably to even up a little bit.
Right.
Maybe negative 180, negative 170, Cody Gibson.
Yeah.
But minus 230, that's crazy to me.
See, what I was going to say is what really makes me just completely off on Brian Kelleher was how he looked in that Garbrandt fight. Because Garbrandt didn't even, granted, it could be because the power scared him, whatever.
I thought he touched Garbrandt a couple times in that fight before getting knocked out.
He touched him, but it wasn't anything like significant.
I was about to say the striking number was super even.
He barely even got clipped by Cody. Instantly went from, oh, we're gonna fight to I'm on the bike, I'm on the back pedal, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And he covered up the first, like, Cody didn't even connect clean when he knocked him out. He just hit him and Brown covered up.
Yeah.
So, but that was my
chin might be
a little suspect.
Yeah, for sure. But so We both on Cody Gibson.
Both of us.
Next fight, we got Hyder, Amil going against Yeong Lee, who is 2-0 in the UFC. Another road to UFC prospect.
Right.
They've filtering us with these Asian, peppered. Korean prospects. Some of them are dogs.
They are.
I do think he's pretty decent. He'll hold a 3-inch reach advantage in this fight. Win against Blake Builder in debut. I think Blake Builder is decent.
He is. He looked really good in that debut.
Yeah, he's physical. Yeah. Look, he came off the Contender Series.
Right.
I thought he looked good on the Contender Series. But Jeong Lee was taken down 5 times in his in the road to UFC final.
Mm-hmm.
But did win he got some control time. I think he controlled like 8 minutes of that fight. So just super close fight. Can mix it up. Hyder Amil, super fresh in the UFC. Debuted against Fernie Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Fernie Garcia is tough. He put Fernie Garcia. He's Mexican.
Yeah.
You know the Mexicans got the chin.
They got a chin on him.
They got that boxing chin. And he put him out.
He did.
So what's the line on this fight?
Hyder Amil is a plus 155 underdog to the Korean Tigers, minus 185.
He's 9-0, only 1-0 in the UFC. Probably hasn't been tested by a lot of guys. Super hard one for me to call, honestly. Jeong Lee does maybe hold some experience, higher competition on him. Maybe he's seen some better fighters. He could probably mix it up. I don't think he just is gonna want to strike with Hyder Amil after seeing that finish. Hyder Amil is susceptible to getting taken down. He was taken down 5 times on his Contender Series fight. Still won a unanimous decision, but that could be good. He got taken down 5 times. Maybe he has some get-up game. But I'll go with Jeong Lee. A lot of Korean prospects on this card. Give me Jeong Lee by decision.
Right. So I was really hoping you'd take Hyder because you were really selling him for a second.
So I haven't seen enough of Hyder, but he definitely has power on the feet.
Right.
And to finish Fernie, definitely says he has power. I just feel like Jeong Lee seems like a more complete fighter.
More well-rounded.
Yeah, more well-rounded.
See, that's what I went back and watched the Hyder Amil Fernie Garcia fight just 4 hours ago before I came over, and Hyder does have good hands. He's got slick combos, but it's in the pocket. He's not out there, striking at range. It's you're stepping in,
taking risks.
Yeah, you're stepping in. Okay, well, I'm gonna hit you. You hit me once, I'll take that, and I'm gonna throw a 2-3 at you and see how you can handle that. He's got power. Very compact striking. But Jeong Lee does not fight like Fernie Garcia. Fernie will stand in the pocket and try to do the same thing. I got a chin, so let me give one to take one, or let me take one to give one, whatever. Whereas Jeong Lee is very well-rounded. He's got a good grappling game to him. That was his base. He's very well acclimated and very well decorated in grappling over in Korea. He's 28, whereas Hyder Amil's 34. So that Hyder's going to have the age experience, but he's also 9-0, whereas Jeong Lee's 11-1. So Lee has the fight experience over Hyder Amil.
By a couple fights. Nothing too
not
crazy.
Much. He's got a 3-inch reach advantage on him. He's an inch taller. Hyder does have a way to win this if Lee wants to try to stay in the pocket with him, because Hyder could stun him. And I mean, he's got power, real power, real slick combinations. But like Pat said, I think Lee is just more well-rounded. I think he has more ways to win. Hyder can be taken down, whereas you don't want Lee to take you down because Lee does have a submission game. Lee is very well he's quick at getting through his progressions and okay, this isn't there and let me switch to this. That's not there and you're giving me your back, I'm on that. So give me Jeong Lee too. I'm gonna go by submission, but I can see Hyder being tough and staying in there and not giving up a submission, and Lee winning a decision off just control time.
I could see Hyder and Mill getting a knockout too.
Yeah, I could. I
could see Jeong Lee do try to
stay in the pocket
with him and just strike with him. I could see that happening, but
I could see it.
So both of us on Jeong Lee by decision.
Right. So our next fight is Choi versus Bill Algeo, and it's the main card opener. So Choi is 14-4-1, 3-3 in the UFC. This man hasn't won a fight in 8 years, though. He should have won his last fight, but a point deduction in that third round cost him that fight to where it's a draw. He's a good striker, throws good fast straight punches, and does move well. Bill Algeo on the other side is 18-8. He's 5-4 in the UFC. He's coming into this fight off that early stoppage loss to Kyle Nelson, where he was still on his feet. Granted, he had chicken legs. He was wobbled multiple times, but it was his equilibrium being thrown off. He was still fully there, fully aware. So I'm still not over that. I think that was an early stoppage.
Definitely.
He has a flashy karate style striking. He's also a black belt in BJJ, so he can grab some quick subs too with those long ass arms that he has. And he's also got good cardio, so he can go a good hard 15 and have the same pace from the beginning of the round 1 to the very end of round 3. This is a close fight in my opinion because Choi is, he's a quick, good striker, very tough. I give the speed and power advantage to Choi, where I give the experience and the finishing ability to Bill Algeo. When it comes down to it, they both can fight a full 15, but I think Bill Algeo just has more ways to win. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Bill Algeo by submission, but Choi is tough. Choi is smart. I could see Choi staying in there and being able to survive and Bill winning a decision. So what do you think?
I'm probably on the same side. You said minus 150 on Bill Algeo?
Minus 160 to minus 135.
I think it's going to be a close fight.
Oh, it's definitely. That line, I think a lot of these lines just completely baffle me, but I think this line should be a lot closer than what they're
like you said, Choi hasn't won a fight since 2016.
8 years.
That's insane.
Crazy.
But 5 fight of the night bonuses and 7 fights. So he's willing to go out there and put on a fight.
Yeah.
He'll stand in there and strike with Bill Algeo.
Oh, he will.
But Bill Algeo, good Muay Thai, black belt in BJJ, gonna hold the 3-inch reach advantage, like you said. Does have 7 career subs, so can get a sub too. Don't hate the sub call. You mentioned that early stoppage, man.
Insane.
He was on his feet.
Insane.
Man didn't even get knocked down.
No,
he was backing up. He was angling. He was angling out. His legs were chicken.
We're gone.
But he was angling out.
Still there,
he was backing up.
Yeah.
He was fully there.
Yeah.
He immediately protested it. Said, "Why the hell you stopped the fight?"
And it's wild because Choi's fight that he should have won his last fight, Kyle Nelson, same guy.
Share the same exact opponent.
Same exact guy.
Like you said though, he should have. It was a draw, but he should have beat Kyle Nelson.
Yeah, he lost that point in the third. I forget, was it a fence grab or something like that?
I don't remember exactly what.
I think it was a fence grab. He grabbed it just off instinct, just off a damn, and then
Kyle Nelson
took a point.
Kyle Nelson big for the division.
Massive.
He towers over people.
Yeah.
Big. So, as far as the bet, it's I think it's gonna be a fun fight, close fight. I like Bill Algeo as well.
Yeah.
Definitely holds the experience edge. Been in there with better people. Just more success in the UFC, I think.
Right.
Has fought better people. So yeah, give me Bill Algeo by decision.
He reminds me of like a great value Corey Sandhagen of like the featherweight division.
You said great value?
Great value Corey Sandhagen. So Corey Sandhagen is way
Kroger
more
brand?
technical. Yeah, he's more
Corey?
the knockoff brand. But he's
I see the similarities, but I think Corey Sandhagen is
Cody Sandhagen's a dog. Like
Corey
that.
Sandhagen,
Corey,
different.
Cody, yeah, Corey. But all right, so the next fight,
we got Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva 3-2-1 in the UFC. What's Cody Durden's record in the UFC?
In the UFC, he is 5-3-1.
5-3-1 in the UFC. Got that wrestling style, aggressive. He's gonna walk forward, pressure. Susceptible to getting hit in the face. Got put on his ass by Makayev. Then he got dropped before he got subbed by Tagir. So he's getting, you try to come too aggressive, and somebody knows how to find that spot. They're gonna find it on you.
Which both
and
of
Bruno
those are
Silva.
wrestlers. So is he kind of like thinking it's a takedown?
But does have power in his hands though.
Yeah,
Drop Tyson Nam.
Right.
And Tyson Nam's tough.
Tyson Nam is tough.
Coming off 3 finishes, 1 by sub and 2 by KO. So can do both. What's the line on this fight, Justin?
You got plus 100 for Bruno Silva and a minus 120 for Cody Durden.
Super close fight.
Whole card.
Cody Durden is like relentless. Will walk forward.
He won't stop.
He's tough.
Yeah.
And since he's taken some losses, he's actually looked even tougher.
Right.
He's came back, got some good wins over Charles Johnson, over Jake Hadley, I believe. We just seen Charles Johnson get that finish last night. He actually looked really good in that fight.
He did.
So I'm gonna go Cody Durden. I think he gets some pressure going. I think he just wears Bruno down. Successful with the wrestling. Right. He'll pick you up and slam you. You get back up, he's gonna pick you up and slam you again.
Right.
I think his cardio is decent. He does kind of fade later, in the third. But I think he at least win the first couple rounds, get some grappling going, and ultimately we'll just win a decision against Bruno Silva. I know I love them decision props, but this is the UFC, man. These fighters are tough.
A lot of cards, a lot of these fights I can see going to. But yeah, I'm pretty much on the same. I don't have much to add. The fact that Cody did lose his last fight, but it was against Tagir Ulanbekov, and you switch over to Bruno Silva, he also got dominated all 3 rounds by Tagir Ulanbekov. So it's not like these guys share that common opponent.
And that's high level.
Yeah, and Tagir's, no joke. But like I said earlier, Cody is 5-3-1. Like Pat said, he's a relentless wrestler who's just going to keep coming. This man averages almost 5 takedowns per fight, each fight in the UFC, which is wild because, yes, that's good, but at the same time, that means that they're getting up. If you're getting 5 takedowns,
like I said, though, you get up on him, he's right back to your hip against the cage, and he's still shooting another leg.
He's relentless for sure. But the fact that they are able to get up worries me, because if Bruno Silva is able to get up in one of those times that Cody's like desperate to try to get a hold of him again, Bruno could catch him with something.
He's definitely powerful.
Or could catch his neck, because Bruno Silva, he is obviously from Brazil. Obviously, a lot of those guys get their start in grappling, or at least have a little bit of jiu-jitsu in their back.
I would say Bruno Silva is probably the better striker in this fight.
Yeah, he's 100%. Definitely going to be
if Cody can't get the grappling going or has struggles getting him down, I don't know. He might look on the feet. I don't think I'm gonna like how it's looking.
No, because Bruno Silva's.
Go ahead, my bad.
Bruno Silva's good at striking. He's got good solid power. He does have good submissions. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. He's coming into this fight on a submission, off a submission win against Tyson Nam. So, but the last time he's fought a wrestler was Tagir Ulanbekov, and Tagir just completely dominated him for 3 rounds. So, my pick is also going to be Cody Durden, probably more than likely by decision. It's probably going to be one of those where he's just going to keep, every time he gets him down, he's going to fight back up. As soon as he gets up, Cody's going to, like Pat said, drop to a double leg, a single. He's going to do something to try to drag him back down. But I do think that Bruno is a live dog in this fight. I think he could. There's a reason why that line is so close. Plus 100, minus 120.
Oh, yeah.
So, your next fight is Kurt Holobaugh versus Kaynan, what is it, Kruschewsky?
Kaynan Kruschewsky.
Is this me? Or is
Kruschewsky, yeah, this is you.
Oh, okay. So, Kurt Holobaugh is 20-8, 1-1 since returning to the UFC through the Ultimate Fighter, like Cody Gibson earlier. He's a come forward striker. He has pretty good power.
Hold on. Are you saying Kurt Hollowball's a booger? 1-5 in the UFC, just like Cody Gibson.
That whole season, man. That whole season of those old vets.
My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro. But yeah, that's similar as hell.
1-1 since coming back from the Ultimate Fighter. He's come forward striker, has decent power, pretty good BJJ. His takedown defense isn't good though. He can be taken down easily, and he accepts it. He tries to work off his back, and he's too quick to just be cool with laying on his back because he thinks he can get a sub. You can't, my boy. You probably can at your local gym. Can't in UFC. So if you want to win this fight, you're going to have to get the fuck up. He's going against Kaynan Kruschewsky. Kaynan is 15-2, 0-1 in the UFC. He's pretty new to the UFC. He likes to strike. He's a good counter striker who likes to explode when he sees the opportunity. He's going to be low volume, so he's the type that likes to stand there and kind of wait until you make a big action or try to come in, and then he tries to, counter you, tries to find his moment. But his when he gets in range, he does explode. His takedown defense sucks too, though. So I feel like if anybody implements a grappling game, they're going to win this fight because the other one can't stop it. This is a coin flip fight, in my opinion. I think Kurt's experience and durability could probably get him through this fight, and it might be able to he might be able to use his experience to turn that into like a good fight IQ and maybe stay out of danger. It's just hard though, man, because I could see Kaynan exploding with a big hook or something like that and just putting Kurt on his ass, and Kurt just being lost. And I don't know. Give me Holobaugh. I'm hoping his fight IQ and experience comes into play, but I'm not. I don't feel great about it. I'm taking the dog in this though, just based off the fact that
what's the line?
He is a dog and he is very tough. It's Kurt is a plus 130 to Kaynan's minus 155. Kaynan
Kruschewsky. Jungle fight champion.
Yep.
Is explosive. He has round 3 KOs, round 4, round 5. I don't know if they're KOs, but they're finishes. Yeah. Which that's the regional scene.
Yeah, I didn't look that deep into it.
Not super. Probably not the best competition.
Right. I don't know, that Brazil regional scene is pretty tough.
A lot of dogs come out of there, definitely. Lost to Elvis Brenner in his debut, obviously, but Elvis Brenner, he's a dog.
Absolute animal.
He's a dog. He's gonna hold the size advantage. He's actually coming down from welterweight in this fight, so
yeah,
he's gonna probably be the bigger guy in the cage. Kurt Holobaugh. I'm not gonna call you a booger, but just not super successful in the UFC.
No,
just below average, super below average fighter. They're giving him another chance. I mean, like you said, he accepts position on his back. Does have good BJJ though.
Yeah. That's why he accepts position because he's like, I'm gonna find a sub.
Decent striking, coming off a loss to Trey Ogden. I think they went to decision.
Yeah.
Good competition early in his career, though. Just to note, he is 1-5 in the UFC, but he came into the UFC against Hani Barcelos, against Shane Burgos.
Yep.
Then he fought Thiago Moises.
Right.
So I mean, three of those 5 losses are decent competition.
Yeah, they're tough.
Good competition, I would say. Kaynan definitely going to hold the power edge on the feet. Like you said, I could definitely see him catching Kurt. Or maybe even, I know he probably doesn't like to get some offensive wrestling going. But he could definitely try to get some offensive wrestling going, stay safe from a sub, potentially get some just control. So let's go split decision on this one. I'm going to go Kaynan Kruschewsky. And yeah, let him get a win in the UFC.
Right. So to add before we move on to the next fight, I'm not taking Kurt because I think he's just going to run through this kid. I'm taking Kurt off the fact that he's got that experience and the fact that he's a dog. So he's going to stay in there the whole fight. You got to put him away. You got to finish him to get him out of there. Facts. And as the underdog in that fight, why not pick a dog as the dog?
Facts. I don't hate
Garcia and Sungwoo Choi.
Facts. Steve Garcia, another dog. Super durable, can weather a storm, but he'll get his ass beat for half that round, and then
just come back.
He's gonna come right back at you. He is coming off 3 KO wins. I believe all 4 of his UFC wins are off from KOs. All of his wins are KOs. He's 4-2 in the UFC. Has a win over Chepe Marisol in 2020. And Chepe's making his way in the UFC right now.
Chepe's a dog too.
He's on a nice little win streak.
Right.
So good competition. Steve Garcia is going to walk forward and bring the fight to you. Like I said, he's durable. Sungwoo Choi, good technical striking. Mostly decision wins. Attacks the legs well. Good leg kicks. Did KO Julian Erosa, but a lot of people's done KO Julian Erosa. Can just mix it up, get some takedowns, but has been finished by some low-level competition. I'm going to go with Steve Garcia in this fight. I think he's a dog. I think he was like a slight favorite or something in this fight.
He's a minus 145.
Yeah, I like that number on Steve Garcia. I think he's gonna bring Sungwoo Choi the fight and potentially get a finish, but I could just see him maybe use some grappling, get straying away from them KOs and trying to mix it up on him a little bit. So I'm gonna go Steve Garcia by KO, but wouldn't be surprised to see a decision. What you think?
Yeah, I don't have much to add to it. Like Pat said, Steve Garcia is 4-2 in the UFC. He's tough, throws good combinations, got that Mexican chin on him. It has been cracked by Mahashat,
Powerful puncher.
It was just a perfect punch. Steve was just in the pocket, got caught, got clipped with that left. Other than that, he lost a decision to Luis Pena, but that was his UFC debut when he lost that. So I'm gonna chalk that up to nerves, really. But Steve is a tough dude, good striking, very durable. Like Pat said, he'll get beat up for 4 minutes of the round, and then you slip up, get a little tired, and then he sees it, and it's like a shark that smells blood in the water. He's on it. He knows when to pour it on, and he can finish. He is a finisher. On the other side, Sungwoo Choi, he's 11-6, 4-5 in the UFC. He is a good striker. He has really good hard leg kicks. He does have takedowns in his bag, but he's not like a dominant wrestling type. He just uses them to try to win a round late if he has to, tries to mix it in if he needs to as like a desperate Hail Mary. I think Steve Garcia is really good. He's tough. He seems to be improving his fight IQ since he got knocked out in that fight. You don't see him just kind of jumping in the fire unless he knows he has somebody hurt. Like he definitely, plays it smart. He's got good cardio too. Like if he doesn't get an early knockout, even in that Luis Pena fight on his debut, he was still throwing in the third, looking good. And that was his debut. He's only gotten better since then. So my pick is going to be Steve Garcia. I think it's going to be by decision just because I feel like Sungwoo Choi is tough. He'll probably hang in there, but it wouldn't shock me to see Steve put him on his ass and knock him out. So, yeah, Steve Garcia is a pick. Our next fight is Brad Tavares and Jeong Park. Brad is 20-9, 15-9 in the UFC. He is the literal definition of a journeyman. This man has fought literally everybody in middleweight, from former champs to the current champ, from young prospects to proven vets. He's pretty well-rounded, too, with decent striking, decent grappling, decent cardio. Just very kind of all-around fighter. He's fighting Jeong Park, who's 17-6, 7-3 in the UFC. Tough striker, good jab on him. He has takedowns and submissions. He has good cardio. He's not blazing fast with speed or anything like that, but makes up for it with his thudding power. If he rocks you and you shoot a sloppy takedown, he can grab your neck. If you guys scramble and end up on the ground, he can get to your back, grab a rear naked choke. But he got taken down 11 times in his last fight. So he can be taken down, and I don't like that.
About Andre Muniz.
Yeah, Andre Muniz.
Andre Muniz with a chip on his shoulder, too, coming off a loss.
Right. This is another coin flip, though, in my opinion, just because we've seen Brad Tavares come out. There's two different Brads. It's either the Brad that looks like he shouldn't even be in the UFC and he's way past his prime, or we get a Brad that comes out and decides, hey, I'm, a good UFC fighter. Let me come out and put some hands on some people. So, I think it's a pick 'em in my opinion. It should be. I don't think Jeong Park should be a -185 favorite to a +155 underdog in Brad Tavares, but my pick is going to be Jeong Park. Probably, I'm going to say by knockout. I got a feeling that he's going to catch Brad Tavares. I'm pretty sure Brad got knocked out his last fight too. Yeah, Gregory Rodriguez knocked him out. Before that, he beat Chris Weidman. And then the fight before that, he lost to Bruno Silva by knockout. So give me Jeong Park by knockout. What do you think?
Jeong Park, he is tough, but he needs to win by control time or he needs a sub.
Right.
If he's not getting them takedowns, he's not a good striker. I don't think he's a good striker.
He
is physical. Power. He is physical and
good jab.
He does have power. Right. But I don't think he wants to stay on the feet with Brad Tavares. No. Brad Tavares is tough, and I think he is going to be the better striker in this matchup. Trains out of Extreme Couture with Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis, Manel Kopp. Juliana Rosa, who we just seen get a finish last night. Like you said, has fought the who's who in this division. Has fought a lot of people. 15-9 in UFC, 24 fights in the UFC. That's a lot of experience. A lot of people he done seen in there. Jeong Park is gonna be. He has that. He has his route to win. Obviously, he wants to get the grappling going. What'd you say the line was on this fight?
-185 to +155.
I think it should be closer. I do like Jeong Park. I'm high on Jeong Park. I thought he was gonna beat Muniz last fight.
Right.
But maybe that was just us kind of overlooking Muniz.
Could have been
because of that.
We thought he was in a slump
because of the fight before that against Paul Craig.
Few fights before that.
Paul Craig
lost like 2 or 3 in a row.
Was it Paul Craig?
I don't know.
That's your boy, bro.
I don't know if Paul Craig beat him before that last fight. But anyways, we're getting off subject there.
Jeong Park loses the step up in competition, and this is another step up in competition. I feel like Brad Tavares isn't super good, but just somebody who's just been in there, experience. I don't hate a Brad Tavares dog play. I'm really split on his pick, honestly, because I see past the victory for both guys. I'll make it another split decision. I'll go Brad Tavares in this fight. He's durable. If Jeong Park can't get some grappling going on him, I think he's gonna struggle on the feet. So let's go Brad Tavares and let's go by decision.
You got some balls picking Brad Tavares.
I know.
Respect.
Hey, that chin is fading for sure.
You were right. It was Paul Craig, and before that, he lost to Brendan Allen.
That chin is fading, but he got knocked out by RoboCop. That was late, correct? Late in the fight,
what do you mean?
Or was it early?
No, that was early.
Caught him early. So just caught him super early. He looked super durable against
round 3. He lost round 1 to Bruno Silva, but it was round 3.
DDP. I thought he looked decent against DDP. It was a kind of a dog fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, give me Brad Tavares dog money. I know it's risky, but if Jeong Park can't get that grappling going, I feel like Brad Tavares might have the better of the grappling or the striking exchanges. So yeah, let's go. Amanda Lemos versus Verna Jandiroba.
Exciting
main event. We got another women's main event. Amanda Lemos is gonna be the better striker. She's gonna want to keep range in this fight against Verna, who obviously wants to get some grappling going. A lot of subs in the UFC. Kind of, to me, it's just a one way or the other. Either Verna gets her grappling going and wins the fight, or Amanda.
It's literally just going to be whoever can implement their game.
This is a striker versus a grappler.
Yeah.
Amanda does have subs in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken, right?
She does. Yeah, she's got 2, I think.
Yeah, she has subs, but I don't see her subbing Jandiroba. Obviously, she just wants to use her kicks. She does have solid kicks and just good at keeping range. That loss to Jessica Andrade, I think she got standing arm triangle. How you get standing arm triangle by a woman that's like 6 inches shorter than you?
Honestly, that's how. Because she was so much shorter, so she was able to literally just go up and reach and just had her.
That shit was nuts to me.
Yeah.
But what's the line on this fight? Pick'ems?
Line on this? No. Shockingly, Amanda Lemos is a +110 underdog. So Verna Jandiroba is -135.
I feel like it makes sense. I feel like it should be a pick'em. Either Verna comes in and gets some grappling going, or Amanda gets her striking off and stays on the feet.
Right.
You know, so super hard one for me to pick. I don't even want to pick this damn fight for real, but I'm gonna pick Amanda Lemos. I like picking the better striker.
Yeah.
In a 5-round fight, Verna could potentially gas, slow down later. Them takedowns not come as easy.
Right.
So I'll step out on a limb. I'll take the dog and go Amanda Lemos in a decision.
All right. Well, yeah. Pretty much I agree with everything Pat said. This fight is very easy to lay out. Amanda Lemos wants to keep it on the feet and pick you apart with her Muay Thai. She is very good with that Muay Thai. Very good kicks, clean combinations. She's coming off that win against Mackenzie Dern, who arguably is kind of like the same fighter as Janda, as far as like their grapplers, who Mackenzie Dern is very good against submissions, but Verna Jandiroba will put that pressure. She will be in your face constantly, and that's
going to be hard for her to deal with.
That's going to be very hard for Amanda to deal with. we saw Weili Zhang, which granted, completely different levels of fighters between her and, Verna. But Zhang just kept taking her down. And Lemos could not do shit about it. She couldn't stop it. She knew it was coming. Couldn't get off her back. Laid there every single round. Granted, she did catch Wayne Zhe Li a couple times. But for the most part, she could not get up. She's got 0 takedown defense in wrestling. Verna, that's her thing. She's a grinder. She's well-rounded. She's tough. She doesn't really have striking. Her striking is not, it's what you would expect a grappler to have striking-wise.
She looked like Rob Schneider.
Very much looks like Rob Schneider from The Animal, specifically, if you guys have seen that one. But she's tough, and she's got insane amounts. She's 13 wins by submission. So it's like, obviously, she's a finisher. If she gets you to the ground or gets to your back or whatever, she's a finisher. And that does worry me because we saw Amanda be taken down very easy by Weili. But like I said, it's different levels because Amanda going against Mackenzie Dern, she didn't get taken down. She was able to neglect and negate that grappling and was able to piece Mackenzie Dern up. But Mackenzie Dern does not have takedowns herself. She can't get a fight down to save her life. She relies on somebody trying to take her down or relies on some type of like clash, whatever. But
Verna's on a good run too.
She's on a run right now. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'll show you this before I say what I'm about to say.
Angela Hill, Marina Rodriguez, and Lupe.
What does my pick say right here? What is the pick? Just read the name.
Your pick is Amanda Lemos.
Okay, so give me Verna Jandiroba because you picked Amanda Lemos, and I'm going to go split decision for the main event just to make it exciting. Because as I'm sitting here thinking about it,
you can send or you're.
I convinced myself. I sold myself on Verna Jandiroba. My pick, you guys can't see it. I have Amanda Lemos. I think she's improved her takedown defense and has the better cardio. I think she can keep it on the feet and butchers Verna. But then I started to think about it, right? Mackenzie Dern has no takedowns. Verna Jandiroba can get a fight down. She's tough. I may look stupid.
Five rounds with Zhang.
Yeah.
I mean,
I may look stupid. She may have the better cardio, come out completely dog Verna, and then I look dumb for this pick or switching it up last second. But to go against Pat here and to have a nice little split decision in the card with, give me Verna Jandiroba and give me Verna by sub. Just to make it a little interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think that's her win condition. If Verna does not get a sub, I think she loses either by decision or she gets finished.
Yeah,
because Amanda Lemos is a powerful striker.
Very powerful, scary power.
Put out Marina Rodriguez with a hook.
Right,
and has a guillotine win over Michelle
Waterson,
but that doesn't say much. But
no.
So we're gonna go split on the main event.
Yep, and we're gonna end the card like that. So should be. I know we talked a lot of shit about this card, but there's some exciting,
decent matchups. Yeah. Just not a lot of name value.
Right, they saved it all for UFC 304, which is going to be the 27th. Yeah. That card, insane, top to bottom. Facts. That card is stacked. So we'll be excited to break that one down and let you guys know who we like there.
Facts. But appreciate y'all stepping in and joining us. What is this, episode 7?
7 of them. 7 deep.
We trying to stay consistent for y'all. Continue dropping these videos. We enjoy doing it.
Right.
I encourage you, if you if you have something you're thinking about doing, whether it's a business, whether it's a podcast, anything, whatever, man, just
starting a lemonade stand.
Just start it up and just get it going, and you won't regret it.
Do something that makes you happy. It'll get you out of your head. Trust.
But yeah, we appreciate y'all.
See y'all next week.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Justin.
And y'all enjoy them fights.